is so important.
Well, let's speak to Andrew Levi, a former British diplomat who was based in Moscow. Andrew, good to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us. Only 48 hours in the job and already in the Philippines representing the UK. What do you make of Ed Miliband? Will he take as quickly to this job as he needs to, given the current situation internationally?
I'm pretty sure he will. He's a highly experienced politician and cabinet minister, but this job is huge. On the one hand, prime ministers, heads of government do a great deal of foreign policy these days. It's increased over the decades. On the other hand, the reason for that is not just improved communication, but because the issues that affect us around the world are also heavily involved with domestic politics in a way that has intensified through globalization and much closer economic and military ties and indeed conflicts around the world over those decades. So you have to be on side with your prime minister, and you have to be across all of the policy areas, and you have to travel. And there he is right now out in Southeast Asia, giving a survey of all these major crises, whether it's Ukraine, whether it's Iran, Sudan, he mentioned in the clip that you just played. Crucial, huge, terrible things going on there. And he's in charge of a great big diplomatic apparatus, which is vital to his job. He's in charge of two intelligence agencies, the MI6 and GCHQ. He's in charge of overseas development assistance. He's got the British Council, the cultural diplomacy arm of Britain, if you like, under his purview. And he's Britain's chief representative on the world stage alongside the Prime Minister. So it's an absolutely massive job. I'm sure he'll be able to do it, but it's not like anything he's done before.
And also, you talked about issues there, and one of the big issues that we are seeing going forward is how to deal with President Trump. Do you think the kind of what we've heard from him so far about President Trump is helpful, given that he has been openly quite critical of President Trump in the past?
Well, there's no doubt that the relationships in Europe are absolutely vital to the UK. The relationship with the USA is absolutely vital to the UK. And he will certainly have to deal with that. He's had his views about President Trump. He won't be dealing directly with President Trump. The main direct relationship that the Foreign Secretary have is with the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. Not to minimize any tensions there might be. President Trump has, I think through his spokesman, has made some slightly disobliging comments about Ed Miliband. But I think it depends on the substance, how Britain behaves in relation to US priorities and how subtly and thoughtfully the British representatives, Ed Miliband in particular, handle that with key people like Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State.
OK. Andrew Levi, former senior British diplomat, it's always good to talk to you. Thank you very much for your analysis.